So this is a behind-the-scenes, inside look of what goes into designing a cylinder head. This was given to us before the original cast Pro Stock Ford head was made, okay? So this was supplied to us at Moe's from Ford, Moe's and Amy Papernick. So they were a great help with all of this. And so this is how it comes. You know, this is all plastic, layer by layer, just each small layer is printed, okay? But the nicest part, we can see where the water jacket is before we even get a casting. So we have an idea of how the porting is going to look. If the water jacket needs to be refined. Not only do they send it this way, but then we have a CAD file out of it also, so we can drop ports in. And we can look at the ports inside the CAD and compare it to where the water jacket is, compare it to where the spring pocket is, all the things to make the head more advanced. So this one was supplied by Ford Motorsports. This one was supplied by Richard Childress. We were doing a lot of development with Richard Childress for about 3 or 4 years. We were working with people like Dave Spitzer and David Spitzer, Lanny Barnes over there. Worked with Spenny for a little bit over there. Paul Ward. There's a group of us. It was a lot of fun to work on. But this is what we were given. So this is before the R07 was even made. So we received this. We have the water core in it. We can see this. And we can look at where the ports are, what the rocker gear, what the final spring pocket height's going to be. And then we can see where the exhaust is going to end up. So, and you can see on this one, if you look at where this guide bore is compared to where the center of the exhaust is, okay? You got the center and the center. If you can see, this port is off center towards the center of the cylinder because here's your intake guide. This one's moved over. This one is centered. It's moved over the other way. It's moved over this way. So this is something that Chevrolet did for the chassis. The chassis, they had to move the exhaust port so it wouldn't interfere with the way they wanted to build the chassis, which in retrospect made the head much worse. But you know, it's chassis sports over there. It's not motorsports people, and you know, us as engine builders and people that develop this stuff, you know, we have to come to the reality that sometimes in the circle track world, it's chassis sports more than it's motorsports. And really, it'll bum you out like somebody like us. It really kind of does. So this port over here, we knew was going to flow less air than this port on the exhaust side just by looking at it when we saw it. So those were some of the questions that were brought up, and those were the explanations that we were given. So when we did it, we call this the bad port and this the good port. The reason why this is moved over, and it is on almost all heads, is because it gets everything closer to the center of the cylinder. So there's much less of a low high pressure area. This has a much higher pressure area because the exhaust port is basically against the cylinder wall. So this port flows about 12 to 15 CFM less on an R07 than the good port. So I'd imagine Cup teams put different lobes and different durations on from this one to this one, I would guess. But these are all things you can learn just by looking at something that's plastic. You know, it's amazing. You look at it, and within 5 minutes, you have all these ideas that come to your head. Okay, so this is similar to the Toyota head. This is extremely similar to the Dodge Pro Stock head. Okay, so that kind of gives you some stuff here, but then it gets into the rocker arms. So what we have here, so when we design a head, if it's with Jessel or T&D or Reed, we get the rapid prototype. We get the rocker system here, and we mock it up on the block here. We make sure it's got push rod clearance for the size push rod that we want it. Like with a small block, we want at least a 1/2-inch push rod. With the big block stuff, minimum of 9/16, hopefully 5/8, and some applications that need it. Not all applications need that. but this is how they come in. So it's simple, and it's a simple, quick check. And we can look and we can go, okay, wait a minute, we have this area here. Let's add a bolt hole. Let's add another bolt hole. So with MBE, because we do all this and we work with them, almost every MBE head that we sell has between 18 and 32 fasteners. For the majority of them. Even our small block stuff has 32. The Big 9 has 23. Our 18-degree conventional head has 18. So we get to do all of this through the rapid prototyping, and we can mock it up in the head and go, hey, people at Jesel, the people at T&D, can we do this? Can we add another fastener in here? And fortunately, they're always willing to work with us. And this is a recent one we just did with Darrow Reed for our new NHRA Pro Mod head. So this is his new system, or that he designed for us. And we changed some little things with the fasteners. We went to a larger fasteners here. We moved where the fastener is in relationship to the bar here to make sure that it wouldn't flex and the strength was better. So we looked at all of that, and we can do all that in the CAD. So to make sure that the strength's right, so it has less flex. And the best part is, all three of these companies can send us this. We can mock it up and make sure it all fits before we even start. And this way, if we need to move something 5 or 10 thousandths, we can. But these are some of the things that help MBE, stay at the top. Is working with these vendors like this. And it's nice that they want us to succeed too. So we're very fortunate to deal with all three of them. Thank you for joining us.